Hello students, welcome back to the lecture series of Introduction to Analytical Chemistry. So let's get started. Now we see in this session chemical reactions and stoichiometric calculation. So first we see the definition of stoichiometry. It is the study of the quantitative relationship or ratios between two or more substances undergoing a physical change or chemical change, that is the chemical reaction. Stoichiometric calculation which are based on balanced chemical equation are known as the stoichiometric calculations. Balanced chemical reaction gives information about. It indicates number of moles of reactant and product. It shows relative masses of the reactant and product. It shows relation between volume of the gaseous reactant and products. Stoichiometry problems. Problems based on the following type. Problem based on mass-mass relationship, problem based on mass-volume relationship, and problem based on the volume-volume relationship. Steps involving problem based on stoichiometric calculation. First step, you have to write down the balanced chemical equation which are representing the chemical reaction. Next step is to write the number of moles and the relative masses of volumes of the reactants and products below the respective formulae. Third step, relative masses of volume should be calculated from the respective formula mass referring to the condition at STP. And last step is to apply the unitary method to calculate the unknown factor as required by the problem. Now we see the example. How much calcium oxide will be produced by decomposition of 5 gram calcium carbonate? So you have to write the balanced chemical equation. Here decomposition are given. So decomposition means heating is there and carbon dioxide is removed. So that you have to write this chemical equation. CaCO3 on heating gives the calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Then you have to write calcium have the atomic mass 40, carbon have 12, oxygen 16 into 3. Here calcium have the 14 and oxygen have 16. Here carbon have 12 and here oxygen 16 into 2. So calcium carbonate are in 100 parts, calcium oxide is 56 parts and carbon dioxide is present at 44 parts. Now second step is that 100 gram of calcium carbonate produces 56 parts of the calcium oxide. Okay, these 100 parts of calcium carbonate produces how many parts of the calcium oxide? 56 parts. So we have to calculate for the 5 gram. Okay, so for that 5 gram of calcium carbonate will produce 56 into 5 upon 100. So it comes out to be 2.8 gram of calcium oxide. Now second example. A piece of zinc weighing 0.635 gram when treated with excess of dilute H2SO4 liberated 200 cm³ of hydrogen at STP. Calculate the percentage purity of the zinc sample. So you have to write again the balanced chemical equation. Here in the example it is given zinc which is react with the H2SO4. So when zinc is react with H2SO4, the H2 is evolved. So at STP the volume 22.4 because here cm³ is given. So you have to consider the volume, right? So at STP volume 22.4 liter of hydrogen gives 65 gram of zinc. Okay. So atomic mass of zinc is 65 and 200 cm³ are converted into the liter. So it comes out to be 0.200. So 0.200 liter of hydrogen at STP is equal to 65 upon 22.4 into 0.200. So it comes out to be 0.58 grams. So percentage purity of zinc is equal to 0.58 upon 0.635 into 100. So it comes out to be 91.33%. So now it's your turn to calculate these two problems. First problem is how many liters of oxygen at STP are required to burn completely 2.2 gram of the propane. Here burn is there, so you have to write first their balanced chemical equation. And second example, calculate the mass of carbon dioxide and water formed on complete combustion of 24 gram of methane gas. Now we see the limiting reagent. So first we see the definition. The reactant in lesser amount or in adequate quantity is called as the limiting reagent, or the reactant which reacts completely and once consumed stop or limits the reaction is called as the limiting reagent. There are two ways of identifying the limiting reagent. First way, the reactant which gives less amount of product, and second way, the reactant which has a low value for ratio of moles of reactant to coefficient of reactant. From the limiting reagent, calculate the amount of products, amount of unreacted reactant by unitary method. One more here, excess reagent. The definition of excess reagent is the reactant that is left at the end of the reaction is called as an excess reagent. So this is the trick how to find limiting reactant, quick and easy way. So you have to follow these steps. First step is to convert reactant into its mole. Then second step is the reactant whose moles divide by its stoichiometric coefficient, and third one is the ratio is small will be a limiting reagent. Okay. So this is the very quick and easy method to find out the limiting reagent in given balanced equation. Okay. So now we see the examples regarding this. So first we see the examples on identifying limiting reagent and excess reagent. Okay. So the question is 3A plus 6B gives the 3C plus 5D, and the moles also they given. For A they give the 9 mole and for B they give the 27 mole. So you have to find limiting reagent and excess reagent. So the first step, you take the ratio for A. Okay. So moles of A to the coefficient of A. What is the coefficient? These numbers are written ahead now. So this is the coefficient. So for the A, 3 coefficient is we are considered. So moles of A are given 9 moles and coefficient of A is 3. So the answer is the 3. Similarly, you take the ratio for B. So it comes out to be 4.5. Now you decide that moles of A of coefficient to the coefficient of A and moles of B and coefficient of B divided by coefficient of B. These two ratios are not equal. Means 3 and 4 they are not the equal, and hence these problems are regarding with the limiting reagent. So limiting reagent is A because the ratio is smallest one. So the smallest ratio consider as the limiting agent, and excess reagent which have the highest ratio called as the excess reagent. So limiting reagent in this example is A and excess reagent is the B. Okay. So now we see again one more example, but some different things are there. So again same example is there. 3A plus 6B gives 3C plus 5D. So 3A A moles A have the 9 moles and B have the 27 mole. C have 0 mole and D have 0 mole. Okay, but A have 3 coefficient, B have 6, C have 3 and D have the 5. So find the limiting reagent and mole of the products. Here instead of excess reagent they ask to find mole of the product. So it is very easy. first you find out the limiting reagent. So you take the moles of A to the coefficient of A is equal to moles of C, because we are considered for the products, no, moles of product. That's why we take the C, moles of the C to the coefficient of C. So it moles of A is the 9 are given, coefficient of A is 3, so 9 upon 3 is equal to moles of C we have to calculate, and coefficient of C given 3, this 3, okay. So the moles of C is the 9. Similarly, you take the moles of A to the coefficient of A is equal to moles of D to the coefficient of D. Here only D is there, not A is there, okay. So only D is you consider here, so that moles of A and coefficient of A. So moles of A is the 9 and coefficient of A is the 3. Moles of D we have to calculate. So coefficient of D is the 5. So it comes moles of the D is the 15. So it is very easy method. These type of questions are generally you see in your competitive exams. So I just take, okay. So there are two types of questions we see: finding the limiting reagent and excess reagent, and second example, find a limiting reagent and mole of the products, okay. So now see the last example. 2 moles of SO2 and 1 mole of H2S react completely to form H2O and sulfur. Identify the limiting reactant and calculate the amount of sulfur formed. So step 1, you have to write first this balanced equation. After that, taking ratio for SO2 and H2S. So for the SO2 we have 2 and H2S 0.5. So H2S have the very less ratio 0.5, hence it becomes limiting reactant, and SO2 is the excess reagent. Thank you.